And that was another thing I was looking at, his true passion for the game itself.
Yeah.
When he sat out, in order to qualify his first year, when he got hurt, when he was hurt, and then he sat out in order to qualify to be a rookie the following year. And so, I think that's a pattern right there. And then, I questioned when he sat out because I think it takes time to gel. And I would have preferred him to play instead of sitting out that first year in order to get the experience of playing in the NBA. And then that way that helps his game a little more versus just sitting out. And then what was your argument on that point, Chris?
Yeah, I'm about to say you and I differ on our philosophy on his reasoning for sitting out. Now, I think some of it may have to do with what you said, some of it, but I think it initially got to that point after they realized, you know what, by the time he's really healthy to play, we're already going to be out of it. We're going to stash him up for this next year, save him up, get that number 1 or number 2, 3 pick, another good lottery pick, and we're going to shelf him this year. We get a good lottery pick, and we'll bring all 3 of them out. This year's number 1, Embiid and Ben together, and we're going to start going up from there. So I do think initially they had plans for him to play, and I believe wholeheartedly you can knock him now talking about his lack of passion. I do believe they had every intention on playing that first year. But I think once they said that that injury, because it was his foot, it takes longer, especially in somebody that size, for it to actually completely heal. And once they push that back to February, by the time you get to February for that rookie, I'm like, yo, they're already out of it. They're thinking business. That's what they're thinking. We're going to get this lottery pick, and we're going to stash him again. We already did it 2 years with Embiid. We can ride Embiid. This is Embiid's first year actually full playing. So we have enough here to keep the fan base interested. They're not going to really notice this tank too much because we got Embiid to keep them occupied. We'll stash Ben, get this number 1 pick. We never would have known it was going to be Markelle Fultz, and they're going to go ahead and have that issue with him.
Yeah, I was going to say
that's a whole other story.
Well, that's the one that that threw the monkey wrench into it because you hit it on the head when you said it was it was the process, right?
Yes.
Where they were. It wasn't just trying to suck. It was a process where they had a strategy to get those lottery picks, and it was working.
It was working,
and until that was the one bad move they made.
That's the one.
And then the NBA stepped in and kind of tried to put an end to it. But to me, it was working.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, and I think it still worked if you really look at it, because the whole point of it was you don't have to keep the ones you draft if you're using the draft pieces to go get something else to make you that championship caliber.
Right.
So it's not a failure, even though Ben's not here anymore. They went and got somebody better than Ben. So if this produces a championship, nobody can say the process didn't work.
Right.
So, and that was their goal from the very beginning. So now as a businessman, big shout to them. Sucks for the fans when you're watching during that process, but if you own a team, this is what you want.
I think the genius is in telling the fans straight up what they was doing. This is the process. And so the fans like, okay, we sucking because we know what we finna get. If you just, you can't just suck in Philly, man. And just because you bad, just because you bad. You're like, okay, we see what the process is, and so we see these talented young players coming along.
It's a very clever way to tell everybody we sucking on purpose, because we can't come out to the league and just say we're going to tank. It's a process. It's a process.
Right. It's a process.
Yeah. Wink, wink. Yeah.
I also think that kind of hurt Ben a little bit when you talk about having veterans on your team.
Yeah.
Because he could have used somebody, man, to pull him in.
That's a good point.
Say, dude, we know you got this skill, man. You got to work on your game, man. You can't just come in and think you're finna ride this out.
Your guy, my fault, though. Your guy, Charles Barkley, it's a big one that he always talked about when he got there as a rookie. It was Moses Malone was his guy. Moses Malone always told him, man, you ain't playing because you fat and you sloppy and you don't work hard. He always talks about that. Moses did that. Ben didn't have that guy in his ear doing it, that veteran. So now it's a good point.
Right. And you expect him to be a leader with being with Embiid, right? And so young guy, he not, he never been a veteran on any team he played on from college. He was a young guy on college.
He was a young guy in college.
Young guy in Philly. He's not a leader. He's not a veteran. So, you kind of need that person. And I think I know we're gonna get off topic, but you're gonna see a beast with him in in Jersey, man, or in Brooklyn or whatever it is. Because
I got that feeling too.
If KD can take him along, you know, so we'll see how that goes. I know that's off topic a little bit, but I do think that having that veteran presence, you know, kind of handicapped him a little bit in terms of putting that beast in him. Everybody not born with that beast, man. You know, you got to get it though, you know.
Yeah.
So.